right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
A trip to the casino turned into Nelly getting taken into custody. Tonight, the rapper's attorney is firing back.
Another surge of autumn air is heading our way. The weather impacts it brings for your outdoor weekend plans.
Our top story, a Senate showdown in the Show Me State is set.
That's not the Missouri I grew up in. That's Josh Hawley's Missouri.
Tonight, the debate deadlock between the candidates.
If you really believe the stuff you've said, come defend it.
With 90 days to go until Election Day, the candidates for Missouri Senate seat are off to the races. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Mike Bush. Democrat Lucas Kunz is hoping to unseat the incumbent Republican Josh Hawley. And just hours ago, 5 on Your Side's Laura Barczewski talked with Kunz about the debate challenges that are on the table. Laura.
Mike and Kelly, last night, moments after the race was called, Hawley challenged Kunz to a debate at the Missouri State Fair next week. And we here at 5 on Your Side offered to go co-moderate it. But what each candidate hopes that will look like is very different.
Josh Hawley said in a statement on X, "Congrats to Lucas Kunz, now let's debate. We sent this letter to both candidates offering to air and moderate the debate at the Missouri State Fair." Kunz confirmed, and Hawley did not officially respond, but posted another video on X.
I said, let's go there. Let's get up on a trailer. No fancy studios, no moderators, just you and me, man. Mano a mano, Lincoln Douglas style. We'll do it in front of the crowd. We'll do it in front of the people. Anybody can come. I see a lot of press here. Y'all are welcome to come. You can film whatever you want, do whatever you want, and we'll just be accountable to the people. We'll go back and forth, and we'll debate. You know what? He won't do it.
Kunz says he wants to debate Hawley, but thinks Hawley doesn't want to answer questions.
I mean, yeah, the dude wants us to go prattle. He can do that anytime he wants. Like, we need to answer hard questions for the people of Missouri. As a U.S. Senator, I'm willing to answer hard questions from the people of Missouri. I think he should be too. Like, right? This is it. Are you real, or are you the coward that everybody saw on January 6th? I guess we'll find out next week.
Hawley went on to say in front of his supporters this would be a chance for Kunz to defend his record in front of Missourians.
I just say to him, if you really believe the stuff you've said, come defend it. Come tell the farmers why you want to take away their ability to farm their farms. Come tell the truckers why you don't want them to work. Come tell the American people and the people of this state why you want that border open.
Kunz jabbed right back, saying Hawley has some things to answer for.
He just doesn't want to answer to the fact that he wasted $250,000 of Missourians' money, that he won't protect in vitro fertilization and contraception, and many other things, right? But let's have that real debate. Let's do it, and we'll all tell us what our plan is going forward and what we want to do.
Both Kunz and Hawley say they're planning to show up at the state fair, but it still remains to be seen if there will be a moderated debate.
Tonight, we're hearing from St. Louis County Prosecutor Wesley Bell just a day after he upset Congresswoman Cori Bush in the race for the 1st District congressional seat. Bush was seeking a 3rd term in the U.S. House of Representatives. Now Bell is heavily favored to win the seat in the November general election. Bell faced criticisms from Bush during the campaign due to his funding from a pro-Israel super PAC.
They heard the Congresswoman's divisiveness and her campaign, which was basically about division. And I'll just say this, most folks, they appreciated the fact that we shared, instead of division, a vision for the St. Louis region and moving this region forward.
AIPAC, I'm coming to tear your kingdom down. What you didn't want to do was allow me to get radicalized even more, because this is the thing, I ain't scared. I don't fear you.
We reached out to Cori Bush's office and AIPAC for interviews. We did not hear back.
Tonight, we are hearing from Alfred Montgomery, who beat longtime Sheriff Vernon Betts by fewer than 300 votes. Brent Solomon is live downtown with Montgomery's plans to bring a fresh perspective to the sheriff's office. Brent.
Well, Kelly, Montgomery will soon return to the place he once was fired from. Back in 2020, after he announced plans to run against his then boss, Sheriff Vernon Betts. He lost that election, but not the will to try again. And this year, voters sided with him.
We need some big changes here in our city. Now it's time to build a sheriff's office that's a model for every law enforcement agency around the city.
And there will soon be a new sheriff in town. Alfred Montgomery unseating Sheriff Vernon Betts, who's held that position for 7 years.
Have you, since you won, have you heard from the sheriff?
I have not.
Yeah.
He didn't call you or you didn't call him?
No, I went down to the sheriff's office to speak with him. I spoke with a few judges. He wasn't available, so that was pretty much that.
He says he's ready to get to work.
Make sure the number one thing that I plan on doing is updating the policy and procedures within the sheriff's office. I also want to update the sheriff's office completely, up to the technology. Right now the sheriff's office is behind, it's outdated. So I'm here to be that change agent.
He wants to request a state audit to see if tax dollars have been mishandled and build rapport with city leaders to see if he can offer insight on improving operations at the City Justice Center, although that's not a specific duty of the sheriff or his deputies. Before the election, published reports questioning Montgomery's credentials, specifically a sociology degree from Arizona State University. When asked about those reports, he said,
You know, a lot of that stuff, what happens is the current administration likes to throw out different things like he's always done, and I don't like to entertain it.
No misconceptions are out there. Everything you said is who you are.
I am who I am. The people of the city of St. Louis elected who they elected, and I stand on who I am.
Now, Montgomery still has to win the general election in November. By the way, we reached out to Sheriff Vernon Betts for comment about this story. We haven't heard back. Live downtown, Brent Solomon, 5 on your side.
The race for Missouri's governor is also set. Lieutenant Governor Mike Keogh won the Republican nomination. He'll face off against State Representative Crystal Quaid, who won last night's Democratic primary. And you can find the results for all of last night's races on KSDK.com. For a link, just text the word results to 314-425-5355.
Tonight we are hearing from the attorney of St. Louis rapper Nelly following his arrest at Hollywood Casino early this morning. Missouri State Highway Patrol says Cornell Haynes Jr., which is his birth name, was arrested on a failure to appear warrant for a 2018 traffic charge. Police say he had 4 ecstasy pills on him. Defense attorney Scott Rosenblum says Nelly had just won several jackpots at the Maryland Heights Casino and claims the officer lied when he told the rapper a background check was required. He also claims a body search was done without probable cause. In a statement, Rosenblum says, quote, this officer felt compelled to handcuff Mr. Haynes behind his back and parade him through the casino in front of other patrons. Rosenblum is calling for an inquiry into the arresting officer's conduct.
Well, we've now learned a teen shot while allegedly trying to rob 2 people in Soulard last month has died.
New at 10, a concerned community activist tells 5 on your side's Robert Townsend the tragedy underscores what she calls a crisis in St. Louis.
Kelly and Mike, Precious Jones founded her nonprofit Breaking Generational Poverty after her son was shot and killed 2 summers ago. Now, since then, Jones has tracked teen-related violence in St. Louis. The latest tragedy in Soulard has her speaking out yet again. Here near the intersection of 9th and Russell, where 2 people sitting in a car told St. Louis police a 15-year-old boy and several others first tried to rob them. The 24-year-old victim said the suspected robbers wore ski masks and dark clothing when they walked up to their car during the early morning hours on July 20th. Investigators say one of the guys reached through the victim's window and removed items while another stood behind the car with a rifle. What's more, police say when the 15-year-old tried to open the car door, the passenger shot the boy in the chest. The teen died Tuesday.
A child being dead, that's not okay. That it's a bigger problem. When I heard that, it's very heartbreaking for me. Community activist Precious Jones's 20-year-old son, Preston, was shot and killed 2 years ago. Jones's nonprofit, Breaking Generational Poverty, put up this billboard with her grandson's picture on it. Their ongoing message? We are in a crisis. A teen crime crisis, she insists, is happening on the streets of St. Louis because young boys and girls are crying out for help. The 15-year-old is the 45th teen to be shot in the city as of Wednesday. Elected officials need to do their part. Law enforcement needs to do their part so that we can fix it. And she continues her plea to parents. Parents and guardians, please, if you need help with your kids, because you are the first ones to know if your kid is off into trouble, reach out for help. Now, police tell us the death of 15-year-old Giovanni Diaz is being classified as a justifiable homicide. They are still looking for the 3 other
suspected robbers.
Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker is calling for the resignation of the Sangamon County Sheriff following the shooting death of Sonia Massey.
The sheriff has failed. He has failed to explain how he ended up hiring this deputy sheriff who has been fired from other departments.
Last week, Sheriff Jack Campbell released Deputy Sean Grayson's personnel file. It revealed numerous disciplinary problems like false reports, not following orders, and 2 DUI charges. He's now being held without bond on murder charges in connection to Massey's death.
Buy now, pay later.
People are crunching numbers every day.
Tonight, financial experts weigh in on if it's a budgetary solution or a convenience that comes at a cost. Bear witness.
Look at him, he's lost.
The wild and close encounter at a senior community in the Metro East.
Sunshine was scarce Wednesday, but brighter days are ahead, and that includes a good portion of the weekend. Why we have to wait a few more days for any substantial rain.
2 astronauts may be stuck on the International Space Station until next year. The astronauts arrived at the station on June 6th on the first crewed test flight of Boeing's Starliner capsule. Now their week-long mission may be lasting until February 2025 after experiencing technical issues. NASA officials are working on solutions to bring them back home.
With rising costs, buy now, pay later options are surging.
It's especially tempting for families as students get ready to head back to school. Tonight, Michelle Lee looks at the pros and cons.
This was my first buy now, pay later purchase. So.
Buy now, pay later is exactly how it sounds. A temptation that even attorney Cherie Davis can't always refuse.
So it really is like the modern day layaway, but just you get the gratification
You get
instantly.
everything up front. You get everything before you pay.
Cherie always reads the fine print, and though at times she's pampered herself, she actually uses it more to pay for unplanned family expenses.
It's appropriate for the times. Like, people are crunching numbers every day.
In fact, some stores like Walmart even allow people to shop for groceries with buy now, pay later.
As a financial expert, I am sympathetic to people's financial situations.
Still, Dionne Motley of Legacy Changers Academy says there are other options that she'd prefer over buy now, pay later, including saving, budgeting, and even credit cards with rewards.
If you have the option to get a credit card that will allow for you to make the purchase, and as you're making the payments, you are able to build your credit, that's going to be a better option for you.
Cherie is actually one of Dionne's clients, and they've come to an agreement on how buy now, pay later can work for her. Cherie's technically budgeting by allowing herself to spend a small amount per pay period for a short amount of time.
I usually try to keep it under like $60 per payment.
That means she'll use buy now, pay later to make smaller purchases, ones that can be paid off in 2 or 3 payments rather than just spending $200 or $300 at once.
I started reading, I was like, oh, they're not going to do a hard inquiry. You know, there's no interest, and I get these 4 payments, and you know, I was like, why not?
Do you do buy now, pay later?
Absolutely not.
That's what I thought.
Absolutely not. And again, I'm not against it. I'm sympathetic to people's financial situations. I would prefer to use a credit card that gives me cash back, rewards, travel rewards, whatever the case may be. But I'm also an advocate and a practicer of budgeting.
For our mom and attorney, Cherie, buy now, pay later gives her a mix of both.
It's needed. It's appropriate where people can get the things that they need and they can control, you know, like the payment and the commitment. And then you don't have to jump over a bunch of hurdles to get access to it.
Michelle Lee, 5 on your side.
And we have more financial do's and don'ts at KSDK.com/money.
Tonight, we have new video of a bear roaming around the Metro East. A resident at the Benedictine Living Community at the Shrine in Belleville captured this video of the bear outside their door. People also spotted the bear around Caseyville and Columbia. Conservation officer says he's looking for a home away from people.
In so many of these instances you see on Facebook and everything else, people see it and they advance towards the bear. Just give it its space. The bear really wants nothing to do with people.
Officers say if you see the bear, report it.
I think we can bear this weather. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell joins us now with that weather impact forecast, and we've got some nice days ahead, right, Scott?
Yeah, Winnie the Pooh hit the honey bucket right here, let me tell you. You know, you got the honey, you got the bears. If you're flying...
How many more bear jokes can we do?
I know, we could be here for a while, Kelly. We've got another 20 minutes. All right, look out at the airport right now. Out here, Terminal 2, most of those Southwest jets, they don't have the taillights on. That means if you have an early morning flight, that plane's already here and ready to go. So we're making good progress on that in getting the flights in tonight. Things have been pretty quiet across much of the country. The southeast, a little more of a problem. 74 degrees right now, light northerly breeze. We still have a lot of clouds hanging around St. Louis. 77 was our high this afternoon. Only 6 other times on this date has it been cooler than that in St. Louis, going back for a long time. All right, so you look at the temperatures tonight. We're dropping back into the 60s. Clouds are trying to break up. Winds will stay light tonight. We're waiting on the next system up to our north and west to kind of scour out these clouds and reinforce the cooler air. Still have our tropical system spinning down here, Debbie, with its 60-mile-per-hour winds. There's your next front that's coming across the upper Midwest. That's actually going to help Debbie move along here as we head into the weekend. Right now, though, those low clouds are still hanging around St. Louis. You do have some scattered showers along this front, but by the time it gets to us, there's not much left for it to do other than to swing the winds around and bring in more delightful weather for St. Louis. So you're looking at temperatures here dropping back into the 60s for early tomorrow morning. Through the course of the morning, it's mostly sunny. We'll see a few clouds building back in during the afternoon hours. Could there be a spritz or a sprinkle? Well, sort of like what we saw yesterday when the cold front came in, and behind it, there were a few areas, even this morning. So that's not out of the question, but no substantial rain out of this. And we should be in the mid-80s for highs tomorrow afternoon. So another comfortable day across the bi-state area. Then the really cool air starts building in here. And as we head into Friday and Saturday, many of us away from St. Louis are going to be in the 70s for highs on Friday and Saturday. We're dry Friday and Saturday, and most of us are dry on Sunday. But as you look down into southwest Missouri, if you have a trip down towards Table Rock or maybe down towards northwest Arkansas, you will see an increase in the showers and thunderstorm chances there. And eventually that nudges towards St. Louis as we head towards Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. So next week it becomes a little more unsettled around here. We'll also see a bit of a warm up. 87 degrees, your top temperature on Thursday, and we're only there briefly. Clouds start to roll back in during the afternoon, evening hours, but again, mainly dry. Mostly sunny Friday, Saturday. Clouds are on the increase Sunday. And then by the time we get to next week, we bring in those rain chances. It's not continuous rain Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, Kelly and Mike, but it will be at least the chance of showers and thunderstorms.
It won't be unbearable, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Really?
The 2024 Paris Paralympic Games kick off 3 weeks from today in Paris, and 3 athletes with St. Louis ties will compete for the U.S. wheelchair rugby team.
Holden Gerwicki recently sat down with co-captain Eric Newby. The Nashville, Illinois native explains how a sport he found by accident has changed his life. It's tonight's Practice to Podium.
From a young age, Eric Newby dreamed of representing his country on a world stage.
I was going to go head into the Air Force, and had a couple weeks before, after we graduated, the night of high school graduation, I ended up getting in a car accident, breaking my neck, C7 vertebrae. And so I was paralyzed from the chest down.
Just 5 weeks after that crash, Newby was back in the gym, lifting weights when he discovered a new passion. Wheelchair rugby.
I'll never forget the first time I went from like a hospital wheelchair to a rugby chair. It was a huge feeling of freedom. It felt like I was flying around, gliding on air, and it was just easier to push, to maneuver. I was fast again. It was fun.
In 2009, Newby made the U.S. wheelchair rugby development team.
Finding this and being able to represent my country this way, it fills a lot of holes that I had, and it's a huge honor.
Newby would win his first Paralympic medal during the 2016 Games in Rio de Janeiro.
As cool as it is to win a medal, we lost in double overtime by 1 point, so we lost a gold medal. We won a silver medal, which I'm very proud of now, but at the time it was a huge feeling of like, man, what if? And kind of fueled the fire for the next few years.
After winning another silver during the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, Newby now has his sights set on gold as he prepares for what could be his final Paralympic Games in Paris.
It's definitely something I think about a lot. It's something I want my kids to be able to look back at. My son's 1, so he's not going to remember this. But we'll be able to watch footage from it. We'll be able to talk about it. My daughter's now 4.5, almost 5, and she'll definitely remember it. We're taking her to Paris with us, so it's going to be a trip to remember, that's for sure.
Reporting in Godfrey, Illinois, Holden Kerwicki, 5 on your side.
The St. Louis kids had some fun in Paris. We will hear from them. And the Cardinals had a lot of fun at Busch Stadium tonight. We'll be right back. As Michael Corleone once said, just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in. After the Monday night misery against the Mets, I was thinking this is just not working out. But they've rebounded nicely against the Rays. Sometimes it's just about timely hitting, third inning, and Nolan Arenado bounces it to left field. It's a double. Alec Burleson and Wilson Contreras score. We have a 3-1 game. In the fourth, Burleson is back. He doubles to right. Nolan Gorman and Mason Wynn score. It's 5-1 Cardinals. Eric Fetty, pretty good tonight. 5 innings, 6 Ks, and 1 earned run. And Ryan Helsley got his 36th save. Cardinals win it 5-2. Take a look at the best golfer to ever come from St. Louis, Judy Rankin. She has 28 professional wins. She donned the cover of Sports Illustrated at the age of 16. Today, she, along with Ozzie Smith, were the headliners at Norwood Hills Country Club for the Legends Luncheon for the Ascension Charity Classic. The 79-year-old was asked how her game would fare today against these golfers.
Well, of course, I could hit it past Nelly Corda. No, sorry. I came from a time when people weren't spending time in the gym, but I've always felt like the really good players, certainly the great players of every generation, could have played in any generation.
And you know what? She would hit it as far as these girls today, these women today, because of equipment. In golf, it's all about equipment, as long as you have world-class skills.
Right, and she didn't have that kind of equipment back then.
But I'm sure she could hit it, you know, if she was 25, if she had the right equipment and play with these girls. Yep.
We'll be right back. More Olympics coverage is coming up next at 10:35 with the finals in the men's skateboarding park event. And tomorrow, you have 2 opportunities to catch Freddie Crittenden run for gold in the 110-meter hurdles. You can watch it live. That's at 12:35 p.m. our time. It will also re-air in primetime at 8.
And don't forget, you are invited to join Scotty and me tomorrow for an Olympics watch party. We have teamed up with St. Louis Sports Commission to host the event during downtown summer nights in Keener Plaza. We'll be there from 5 to 8 with a large viewing screen, food trucks, we have a DJ, all kinds of stuff going on.
And the weather's supposed to be spectacular.
Oh yeah, weather's going to be outstanding tomorrow afternoon. We're talking a mix of sun and clouds tomorrow. Look at those temperatures. 5 o'clock's 82 degrees. We're only in the mid-80s for highs tomorrow. That's outstanding. And it gets even better heading into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Low 80s. I know it's getting dry, but recreationally speaking, this is really good weather. We'll get some rain in here about Monday.
Okay. There you have it. 5 on your side at 10. Late Night in Paris is next.
And be sure to start your day with Today in St. Louis at 4 a.m. Rennie Knott reports live from Paris.